गुरवे नमः। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बिके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। I can see that from the whole Hindu community of America, that people with different languages. I think it's not just Telugu. I can see that there are a lot of Gujarati background, Telugu, and also the Hindi. So I'll just try to keep my entire speech in English. And I'm sure Gen Z would find a lot of issues with my English. So please kindly tolerate my English. And if something you wouldn't understand or I'm not able to reach out to you, can still stand up and ask questions. It's my 26th day that I'm in America. I have been invited by this great land of opportunity and prosperity by my beloved Hindu fraternity to speak and to probably share the knowledge that I have on dharma across America. As I started my journey in last 26 days, I've come across a lot of facts, a lot of challenges that the Hindu community is facing. But in spite of all that, it still gives me immense pleasure. भैया वो बंद कर सकते हो सामने वाला? ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे पूरा सूरज का रोशनी मिल रही है। हाँ बढ़िया, it's done. It gives me immense pleasure that in spite of the challenges Hindu American community has, it's still trying to stand up the best, trying to bring up the children with great values of Sanatan Dharma. And also somewhere I figured out that they still feel that they haven't done their role completely. And the entire process, I've seen many of them really feeling, kind of at times little demotivated and disheartened because they're away from their motherland Bharat. So they would want to do as much as they can do. So they often, in this short trip of 25 days till day 26, they've approached me, they used to ask me that what else can we do, so that the prime concern was how do we bring our Gen Z convincingly into the fold of Hinduism or Hindutva, so that we feel comfortable, assured, and we stay strong that we have warriors after us taking care of dharma on this land. I think before I could really take it forward as my words and my speech, I would still request the organizers to probably, do you have cordless mics? आपके पास है? There's no cordless mic? Okay, it's okay. I would want to make it as an interactive session, if that's interesting for you people. If that's okay, you can specifically ask me questions. Because the reason why I want it to be this way is, I figured out that each place has its own challenges regarding dharma. And people are often confused. Grown-ups at times also are often confused that what is Hinduism, what is Hindutva, what is Dharma. And when children come back to us questioning the sanctity or the stability of our own religion, sometimes we find it very difficult to answer them. So rather, even if I'm able to answer a fistful of your questions, I feel a big number would leave this room satisfied, rather than me in general speaking about what Dharma is. I would want to cater to your questions like an a la carte menu that you get in a hotel rather than a buffet. So how do you think about going up with an interactive session? Is that should be okay, interesting?
How about we split up? You talk first and then we follow up with some questions.
Fair enough. See, what happens is I can still do it. Fair enough, we can do that way also. Then let me just share my experiences of this 25, 26 days, because one thing I've observed, when I go to different cities, people ask, from which city have you come? Do they have the same problems like we have? Now they're worried, and the problem of Hindus across America are the same, or each one of your different cities are facing different problems. No, mostly you're all facing the same problem. Out of which, let me be very frank, I would wholeheartedly want to bow before this temple and its organizers and the entire crew which is taking up this great Dharma forward, because first time I have seen asking for a vote banner here. Please clap for them. Based on this, now let me tell you about Dharma. Abrahma Kita Janani Varnasrama Vidhayini. This is one line in Lalita Sahasranama. It tells that Mother Goddess, who herself is from Abrahma Kita Janani, all the way from the Brahman till the smallest insect, she is the Mother Goddess, she is the creator. She is the Shakti. Varnasrama Vidhayini. Varna means occupation. Ashrama means Balyavastha, Samsara, Sannyasa, Vanaprastha. All these are ashramans. Means the period of your life where you are supposed to do the respective duties and responsibilities. In that, it's such a beautiful hidden thing. It says that even the king or the Raja is supposed to follow the Dharma. In fact, it's not he also, it is he or she who is on a power position should follow Dharma. There's no choice. They have to follow Dharma. That's the reason. It was very, very important and inevitable that during the reign of the kingship, means when there were kingdoms and kings and queens used to rule Bharat, all of them from the age of 6 to 16, it was mandated that they need to go to Gurukuls. They were supposed to be experts in Vedas, Dharma Shastras, because it was no choice for them, but a mandatory rule that a king follows Dharma. Dharma Paripalana. Whatever you're ruling, your rule has to follow Dharma. Now, those were those days. King was never elected. But according to the Sanatan Dharma, king should learn, should follow. Fantastic. And now what is the era we are in? We are in the most modern democratic era. Now what happens? The whole Dharma has fallen into our zone. That means it's now we who have to elect a dharmic leader or a leader who follows Dharma. We cannot be aloof from this responsibility. No. You cannot expect that we wouldn't go out and vote. It's okay whoever gets elected. But that elected person should have Dharma. You cannot say this. That's the reason in this 21st century, Dharma responsibility is on larger number of shoulders. We all should come out to vote the most dharmic leader that our consciousness says that he or she needs to be our leader. Because whether in those days or whether in these days, it's a dharmic leader who will protect the land. That's Bhudevi. If Bhudevi is not protected, any structure on that Bhudevi is not protected. It could be temple as a structure. It could be family as a structure. It could be scriptures as a structure. It could be Vedas as a structure. It could be dharma as a structure. It could be rituals as a structure. It could be culture as a structure. It could be in toto Arya Dharma or Sanatan Dharma as an identity. So, our responsibility neither starts or ends by just following any one structure of this Dharma. It's only complete when we elect or protect the leader who shows interest and ability to protect the earth on the basis of Dharma. Now this rule is common for any land across the globe. This doesn't belong to one place called Bharat. How do we know this? If you look at the Dashavataras of Mahavishnu, you see Varaha Avatara, right? How many of you know Varaha Avatara? You can raise your hands. Fantastic. Now let kids know what is a Varaha Avatara. Lord Vishnu, whenever he found that Bhudevi, the earth, is into pain or problems because of demons, she used to come to Mahavishnu and she used to cry, "Hey Vishnu, I'm into a lot of pain and problem. I am trying to take it with a lot of patience. But these demons, these bad thinking people, these people who always trouble my good children, I'm not able to take their numbers. They're very strong, they're united. Vishnu, they're united. These Rakshas are united. What do I do?" Ultimately, when Vishnu figures out that the bad are concentrating and they're becoming big in their numbers, and good people are aloof doing their own puja and in their own world, then Vishnu had no choice but to come down, because he has to equate or maybe increase the power when compared to the unified demon power and energy. Then he comes down. Whenever he comes down, he comes up with different appearances, because that's how demons used to ask for boons. So in one of his such avatara or incarnation on the earth, he comes like a Varaha. And with his two tusks, he lifts the entire earth and protects, and also protects the Vedas in one hand. What does that mean? That he didn't protect only Bharat, he didn't pick up Bharat and protect, he protected the whole globe. That means wherever a Sanatana Hindu Dharma person resides across the globe, he or she has a responsibility to safeguard Dharma through a very pious responsibility called voting. If you do not vote, forget Dharma as a huge thing, because we cannot see. It's very difficult to quantify. What ultimately gets hits? Two things of Dharma. One family, two temple. Now tell me, what are our lives without family and temple? When there is no family, we are not there as an individual. If there is no temple being protected, we are not there anymore as a lineage of Sanatana Dharma. That's the reason it's very important that do not look at vote as a very selfish or non-responsible activity. It's the most selfless and the most responsible duty of every Sanatana Dharma person. You would have seen the video of mine. In the video you've all seen everything that's very open. I've even helped the poor downtrodden women, irrespective of the background they come from. This can be done only by a Hindu Sanatan Dharma person. And we know we are all like that. We are all very good by our heart, by our souls. But should that become our weakness or should it become our strength? Our kindness shouldn't become our weakness. Our kindness should never become our own enemy to our own fraternity. It should unite us by one name called Hindu. I'm very happy when I saw that Hindu matrimony. I would today pray my Ma Bhagavati that let it be Hindu only. Let that name not change as North Indian Hindu, South Indian Hindu, East Indian Hindu, West Indian Hindu. No. I don't want it to take up language names, then eventually on caste names. Today let's all pray the Creator that let this just stay as Hindu matrimony. Because it's time we all realize, for whatever reasons, we are highly educated. For all good reasons, we all make good money. And I do not know how many of you really realize that we in the sense, that's how I say, but you all, Hindu Americans put together, are the most educated, the most rich, even on the land of America. But somehow we wouldn't realize this because maybe we are not working as an entity united. It's time we do that. It's time we do that. Because this unity only will teach the upcoming generation that they are the protectors and they're going to stand up with the dharma, because dharmo rakshati rakshita. Somewhere we all need to think that who after us? Time passes away. Only one thing that never comes back in our life is time. And once this time passes away, we know it passed. If all of us close our eyes for a moment and a second, we never knew from a small child to the age that we attained today how fast it has gone. But today what is very important, we act fast. We act fast. Because the world is thinking and acting much faster than what we can think and act. Because we believe in peace, so somehow we assume everything is peaceful around us. And I'm sure each one of you know nothing is peaceful around us. It doesn't really matter whether it is America or US, because ultimately you Hindu only has to protect the land wherever you are. Because you do not urge for power, so you need to urge to create good power. Whether you are in power or not doesn't matter, but whether you contribute to good power is important. And one answer to protect everything and everybody, because we have no patience to create or to forward a narration. Let me repeat this. We have no patience, no time, no desire to create a narration, to propagate a narration, either in a positive way to ensure our dharma goes forward, but world has ample time to create a narration to put us to the wrong note. You get my point, right? World is just running fast to put us to a wrong narration because it knew that in spite of people who envy our Sanatan Dharma, have been working since ages, they could not curb this Dharma. But should that make us aloof? No. Because what we were once, we are not anymore today. Once we were peaceful, we were very happy 2000 years back, but we were also mentally very strong, undeterred. We think today we are rich, no? Even on 15th, 16th centuries also, Bharat contributed to 25% of world's economy, which we do not do today. In spite of earning in dollars, pounds, dirhams, whatever across the world, still entire income of Hindus put together also. One Bharat used to make 25% of world's economy. Do you think it is possible if they weren't brave? Do we think it's possible if they were not united? Do you think it is possible if they didn't follow dharma? Do you think it is possible if they have questioned their own rituals, culture and dharma? Do you think it would have been possible if men and women fought among themselves? No. Only when they worked together, they were united, they were strong, they were educated, they were scientifically far beyond the world, technology-wise, manufacturing-wise. That's the reason they were 25% of world's economy. What we are today is nothing, but what did it take from there till here? So now it's important for us to really understand, sit for a couple of minutes, talk to our own self. Where do I stand? Where do I stand today? And what are my securities? Am I safe? Am I peaceful? Can I sleep confidently? Not my generation alone. The generation after me and the generation after that would stand undeterred for dharma. Can we say this? We're not sure. I know we are not sure. But not sure. Because the day Sanatan decides, the day Hindu decides, everything is possible. But whether the Hindu wants to decide or not is all question about it. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Today we all have an issue that Gen Z is not able to get into the fold of Sanatana Dharma. And you think they ask a lot of questions. You're worried. The questions are like the non-stop. How many of you know that only Hindu children question, others don't question? Yes, only Hindu children question. Hindu Gen Z children only question. Other Gen Z, they don't question, they only follow. Why? Am I right? You know why? Because your dharma is giving you this right from the day of creation. You know, that's the reason even today in the world, the top cream R&D, whether it is in NASA, whether it is Bharat, whether it is any kind of IT company, the top R&D companies are still headed by Hindus because of their questioning ability. But where's the all problem lying in? All of them who have questioned the dharma did not question the dharma because they wanted to test the dharma. They have questioned the dharma because they wanted to know the dharma. A lot of difference in questioning to test dharma, to know dharma. Why are they questioning to test dharma? Because somewhere we also questioned the dharma to test it and we left it. We didn't question it outwardly, they are questioning it outwardly. They are caught, we are not caught. It's just that. Right? We are not caught, they are caught. So, no other community questions. Questioning is our strength. But we need to inculcate in a child the question humbly, not to question arrogantly. So dharma is not set of rules and regulations, but dharma is a personality development. Dhar yani dhru yani righteousness. Uplifting, holding on to, Ma means dharma, means ma is creating a system. So when you take up the responsibility to lift, uphold the righteousness, you create a system and an ecosystem. That's dharma. So you need to build the personality within a child. And you can have a question, my dear, right from the childhood. When they question us, we need to teach them a humble way of questioning a question. They can question anybody. They can question mother, they can question father, they can question teacher, they can question dharma, doesn't really matter. Second thing, when they question the parents, because this is not Bharat, so you wouldn't find teachers who can answer their questions about dharma. When I question parents, we as parents needs to be truthful to first ourselves. Do I truthfully know the answer for this or not? If we do not know the answer, we need not answer the child. None of us are masters. We need to humbly tell the child that, dear, I do not know the answer of this. But that doesn't mean dharma has no answer. I do not have the answer. Dharma has the answer. Give me a little time, I'll get back to you. Or if I am not able to satisfy you, I wish you go in figuring out the answer and one day come back to me, teach me, tell me that I do not know. That's how Adi Shankaracharya has become our Guru. That's how Madhvacharya has become our Guru. That's how Ramanujacharya has become our Guru. That's how the great Ramakrishna Paramahamsa has become our Guru. That's how Swami Vivekananda has become our Guru. That's how Tulsi Das has become a Guru. It is very, very, very important that we need to ensure the children go in an expedition of figuring out the answers. For that, we need to show that dharma never stops. It's a constant growing personality and answers for the questions. That's the reason we say kala mana dharma. यानी कि समय के हिसाब से, व्यक्ति के हिसाब से, उस जगह के हिसाब से धर्म का स्थापित होता है. ठंडे जगह पे यहाँ पे when there is very cold areas of US, we go with socks into the temple. But we do not go with socks in Bharat into temple, into southern India side. On southern India side, Maharaj ji, Pandit ji, they don't wear a shirt. But if you go the northern side of the Bharat, they wear a shirt. That's beautiful is this dharma. Dharma has never stopped us. But ultimately it asked only one thing. Bhagavad Gita, that's what Krishna Paramatma says. Even if you find that there is some incompleteness in your dharma, even if you feel that certain answers you haven't got in your dharma, still you need to follow your dharma. If required, you should give your life for the sake of the dharma. Now, giving life is not getting killed. Giving life means going forward and forward and forward, figuring out these answers, that the questions that are boggling us. That is what Krishna meant. So it's very important. On the land that we are living today, the freedom that dharma gave us is the same freedom, maybe in multiples, we have given to our children. At times, we are worried, did we do a mistake by giving so much freedom to children? No. Freedom helps somebody to question. In a restricted environment, children cannot question, no human questions. But then how? Where is all this leading to? You need to know the language of the land that you are living. Be a Roman in Rome. You need to know what is guiding your child to question. What is guiding your Gen Z to ask a question? If you can understand, religious institutions of other communities are not the centers of rituals alone. They are the centers to unite their community. They are the centers to protect their community. They are the centers who utilize the energies of Gen Z. How? Why are they so successful when they didn't have such huge dharma? I'll give you a small example of this line. How many of you have children of 9th class and up? Can you please raise your hands? Very big number. And your children are students. They need volunteer certificates, right? Which they need to produce in the schools. If temple says, please come to the temple, serve the temple for this number of hours, we will give you a volunteer certificate from the temple. Now tell me, why would Gen Z and their parents will stop coming to the temple? Now for that, what you need to say? Beta, come. You need to clean up everything. This is a stipulated period. But before cleaning or after cleaning, you need to learn 5 verses of Aditya Hridayam from the Maharaji. Then we will register that you have worked for this many volunteer hours. Once it is finished, we will give you a certificate. Chat bhi apni, pat bhi apni. In fact, the parent comes to drop the child and go. Because the child is also excited, the parent is excited because the temple is giving back a certificate. Suppose there is a huge music session somewhere, some teacher is there, she's teaching music. You can approach that music teacher saying that, please come with your set of 10 children, sit here, please sing your classical kirtanas as a music therapy. We will give that the people who are coming, visiting a temple and going, they are getting music therapy, because music therapy has this advantages in the Carnatic music, which has been done enough research. You know, in the world today, Carnatic music instrumentation they're using for the sake of music therapy in the best of the best of West universities. The teacher gets set of girls or boys who are learning the music. They're going to sing, they're going to play, that's a music therapy in the temple, and you can give them the certificate. Every day there's a music seva happening to God. One day one batch, the other day other batch, other day other batch. You're a Venkateshwar Swami temple, such a beautiful temple. I was really excited when I just stepped into the temple. There's one more beautiful such temple in Pittsburgh, there's a temple in New Jersey, New York, a lot of places, all Venkateshwara temples you get connected. I have a child who got a seat in Michigan. This Venkateshwar Swami temple is connected to that Venkateshwar Swami temple. So you can have your website. Please come and approach us. We'll connect you to the temple there if your child has got an admission in that place. I would come. I will register with you. You put a minimal fee for me. I'll register here. You give me a phone number. I'll go to that temple. I'll visit that temple. I'll register there. Even if I leave my child, the child goes to the temple because a student counseling desk available there. Should the desk move here and there? No. What it takes for an automated WhatsApp message. Hello friend, how are you? From the temple of Michigan to the boy or girl who is studying in the university. Finished. You teach children how to check blood pressure. There are a lot of old age geriatrics, you know, Dadi, Nani, Dadaji, Nanaji, they're all from India coming up. The children, there are a lot of doctors around. You can give them a training session, how to check the blood pressure. When the old come to the temple, it's doing seva to them. Imagine so much of these children gain boons, you know, like they get the ashirvad from the old when they come here. Then they understand the value of their grandparents also. They check for the blood pressure, they write it down. That's again a seva, give a volunteer certificate for that. We need to know that today our children would not want to see temples just as 4 walls of bricks, because they are being questioned outside. Because these social activities are being conducted by other community temples. Good, bad, other side. And we are not here to discuss about that. But when they question them, they don't find an answer with them. And what do we talk about? We talk about Ramachandra, they cannot understand. We talk about Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, doctorate subject goes above, it goes our head, above our head. What will a child understand? We talk Lalita Sahasranamam. Absolutely nothing near to them to understand. What do they understand? Simple Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. That Acharya who is in the school teaches some other subject of religion. Khatam, finished. Bachaye Atiti Devo Bhava. And one Atiti, I don't know whoever we have, we do not know among ourselves itself, we have lot of issues. Where are they even seeing Dharma teaching them anything? Temples are the best place. Then they will start understanding, oh, this temple gave me volunteer certificate, otherwise I didn't know where I would have gone. I owe to my temple this certificate. I didn't worry to go anywhere, my temple protected me. We need to get into this thinking of the children so that they start talking about the Dharma in their simple language that is affecting them in the society is affecting them. You are able to understand what I am saying, right? This needs to come from us. Imagine, you all would be surprised. I was just listening to somebody, again in my entire 26 days of journey. Some other place, they were telling me that we have 65 temples in this so-called state or city, whatever it is. You know, Didi, what does that mean? It means very good. 65 temples. Oh my God, it takes so much in US to build. He said, no, Didi, 65 temples means 65 divided groups, he said. Then he said, some other religion, there are 5 their own religious institutions. Do you know, Didi, what does that mean? I just wanted to be, very innocent. I said 5 groups. No, Didi, that means that group has grown 5 times. How is it possible? He said when one religious institution of their community comes, for the next religious institution, fund is raised in this institution. Where do we even match their way of thinking? So, there are 2 things. Should we now be scared that their institutions are growing? Or should we be worried that we are getting divided more and more? Or should we all come together and say that 65 temples, now we are going to unite, overnight show how strong we are. Where there is a will, there is a way. Why? We are not doing any favor to Dharma. You all need to know that 2 institutions have been targeted since 2000 years. One Hindu family, one Hindu temple. So it's up to us. If you want to be a selfish person, to see this Gen Z and the upcoming, their children, Alpha Z or Beta Z coming up, if you want that they should stay back as Sanatan Hindus, it's time we gear up and also act accordingly, by which the Gen Z, they're very nice. Actually, they're very nice. That's the reason they're being manipulated so easily. So we need to be little smart. At the same time, we need to use our own Dharma in a very soft and sophisticated way in temples, so that these children are engaged in the temple and they benefit their families and the children, they benefit. This is what I would want to say. This is what I've been observing in my last 26 days. There are a lot more to say, but then I think if there are any questions, you can still post it to me. I can try to answer them. Specifically of anything.